The McKinsey case interview. There's a lot to know and a lot to read about McKinsey case interviews, but there's also a lot that you never knew. Hi, I'm Jenny Rae, the Managing Director of Management Consulted, and for the last 8 years, I've been training people to succeed in McKinsey interviews, along with my amazing team that is ex-MBB. And we've noticed a couple of things that most people don't know, even the day before they're about to walk in to their McKinsey interview, that we thought it would be helpful for you to know. Number one, in a McKinsey case interview, the interviewer did not do the case that they're using. This is an important factor because they rely largely on a script that they walk in with. The script was created by a central bank in McKinsey. They learned the script and they're following it as they go. So when you ask for information or context or insights outside of the script, they don't have it. That's why the McKinsey cases follow a command and control methodology or an interviewer-led methodology because they don't have other information other than what is in the written case that they're using. Number two, in a McKinsey case interview, it's really important that you understand you're being scored on every action you take throughout the case. This is different from a Bain interview or a BCG interview, where in contrast, you're scored only at the end of the case. But for McKinsey, you're scored for your opening, you're scored for your structure, you're scored as you go through each one of the pieces of the case, the quantitative and the qualitative pieces. You're even scored on your conclusion. And having those scores gives a more micro view for them about what your performance areas are that are strong and also what your weak areas are. And they're able to compare and contrast across multiple interviews. But it can be a little off-putting when inside the interview, somebody in the interviewer chair is actually writing about you as you go through the interview. They seem slightly less engaged, but you need to know what they're doing, and you need to make sure that if you have one section of the case that's not going well, you recover in the next part, and you don't treat it as just one macro view. Next, something that a lot of people don't know about McKinsey is that because the math is pre-planned, there is usually one additional piece of data or one missing piece of data in every McKinsey math question. Understanding that and identifying what it is a key to solving McKinsey math. And when you figure out what the missing piece of data is or what the extra piece of data is, the McKinsey case interview becomes actually pretty transparent. If you have no idea that there is a missing piece, or if you think there might be multiple missing pieces, then you have a lot more dialogue that's unnecessary with your interviewer. And finally, the fourth thing, in a McKinsey case interview, you will have the second hardest math you will face inside case interviews. So if you haven't been practicing math for case interviews, then you need to make sure before you go into McKinsey, you practice in a very specific way. Because the math is pre-scripted, it's on the script that the interviewer walks into the room with, they're able to test deeper concepts and harder calculations. So you will be dividing by 7. You'll be multiplying by 17.5. You'll be doing calculations that are more challenging than in other interviews, and you need to be ready for that. Just in case you're wondering, by the way, this is the second hardest math. The hardest math that you will likely find is in an A.T. Kearney interview. And those are incredibly difficult. So make sure that you're practicing not only in a deliberate way from McKinsey, but even at another level if you have those as well. These are 4 things that most people don't know when they're about to walk into a McKinsey case interview, and we hope that you find them enlightening and insightful. We are full of insights and tips that we've gathered over the 2,500 plus clients that we serve a year and our 3.5 million readers. You might even have more. We'd love to hear from you about your experience in the McKinsey case interview, and we're here to answer your questions at managementconsulted.com or on social.